My house, I paid a lot of money for. Probably the biggest bathroom I ever had. I'm the Lord of the Shades. You can also go for 0G. I was gonna lay on it and then pretend I was floating. See, I'm floating. Also bought a little grill so I can make some food outside, because the tiny house, you know, you cook food inside, you're gonna smell it for a little while.
Will you join me? Will you roll? Make this house our tiny home.
My name is Howard. My tiny house name is Advanced Basics. We're here in Mount Laguna, California on a beautiful day. So I've been living in my tiny house over 3 years now and have no complaints. And best thing I ever did. I love it. Love the lifestyle. I love my neighbors. I have fantastic neighbors, and tiny house people are the greatest people. It's almost like campers, you know, like every time I went camping, campers, people were the best people in the world. Friendly, you know, easygoing. Same thing with the tiny house people. They're just fantastic. The size of my tiny house is 30 feet long, 8.5 feet wide, 13.5 feet high. And it's just a perfect design. You don't need any special permits to move it. Let's go inside and check out the rest of the house. I think you'll enjoy it. So when you first enter the house, we're in the kitchen, which is a good place. If you're coming in with your groceries and stuff, you have a table to put your grocery bag down, and then you can start loading your fridge up, which is a normal size fridge, and just makes it really convenient. I also have a ladder that I can use to get up in the loft, and also to clean the windows and get up on the roof, and tools and stuff. Got the mini split here, which is a good location. Keeps it, you know, quiet. It's a 12,000 BTU. It's definitely powerful enough to cool and heat the place, but sometimes if it gets down into teens or close to zero, I'll have a space heater and a couple other supplemental heaters just to keep it a little bit warmer. For cooling, it works great. And you have to have a fan because you want it to move the air around, especially in the winter time. You want the air to not settle up on top, so you want to push it around and have it come down a little farther, because if you don't have that fan on, it gets really cold down here. I wanted everything on one side. I saw a video of a tiny house design where everything was on one side, and I thought that would be a good idea to just give you a straight hallway in the middle. The first thing is you spend a couple years looking at different designs and trying to figure out what you want to build. And then you got to find a builder. And I went through 3 or 4 builders before I found one in Tennessee. And then he subcontracted out to outfit in Spicewood, Texas. Once it started, it took about 6 months to build. I was very hands-on because I made a lot of changes. I went with the metal frame, which was made right down the road in Texas. No warping, it's a little lighter. My house, I paid a lot of money for. During the pandemic, it was a challenge, but the final cost was $135,000, which is really expensive because I did a price list on everything that went into it, and it came out to be $75,000. So I paid 50 grand for people to build it for me, which is not too bad. I mean, you don't have to spend a lot. If you're willing to do the work yourself, you can really lower your cost. But you should do your research, because a lot of the things that I did right, and I got lucky, and the builders helped me out making the decisions. I tried to stay in Texas because the house was under warranty. That was my original plan, was just to find a tiny house community nearby or a place where I can park it. I couldn't find a good place in Texas. It was California. Of course I'm gonna come here. You know, I don't care what, you know, sacrifices I had to make. I said, I gotta go back to California. I lived out here a couple of times and just loved it. And I always wanted to come back, and here I am. I'm back 45 years later. I looked at a lot of tiny houses that the builder was doing, and I saw some of the designs I liked. I liked the cabinet style he had. I changed the idea about the handles, but he told me the handles are good for hanging stuff on, so I went with those because I had a different idea. Instead of having an oven, I just went with the little toaster oven, which works just as good. I can, do all kinds of things in there. Gas grill, which is great to have. And the induction cooktop. So I can use both at the same time, or I can use one or the other. But if you did lose electric, you can still cook inside, so I like that part. I used a microwave, and also has a vent because of the gas down here, and it vents outside. I also added these myself, a little spice drawer, drops down, just to add some more spices in there, because spices take up a lot of room. I have some up here, but these are a different set of spices I like to have separated. The quartz top is another thing I saw in Texas. I said, I like this countertop, let's do this. And I like the Delta sink. I like the fact that you can just push stuff right off. And it's a multi-purpose sink where you can put this dryer rack here, you can drop in a cutting board. I also have a reverse osmosis that I can filter the water, but you have to add minerals to it. I got a remote control that controls all the blackout shades, and they also have artwork on them. And I like to say right before I do it, I'm the Lord of the Shades. One remote controls them all. That was another reason I wanted artwork on the shades, because you don't have too much wall space for artwork. So that was another way to sneak in some photographs, like the frame TV. I did save one painting that my sister did, and that was my favorite. I've had that for years. So moving down, we got some floating shelves, which is nice. I had another shelf put in, which is the same level as the countertop, and another shelf the same level as the table next to the bed. These shelves here were put in after the fact that I was going to do a wood stove, a Kimberly wood stove, and then I was going to do some stereo equipment, and I decided just to use it for a printer, some photographic books, and some knickknacks, and I also did a meditation altar just to throw some stuff up there. I like to have plants. The plants help filter the air indoors. I was going for light colors because I saw tiny houses with dark colors. It didn't appeal to me. I liked the light colors, and easy to keep clean because you can see anything that gets dirty. And that was one of the reasons I went with the shiplap. And the shiplap is really good if you want to connect stuff to it. Tongue and groove pine ceiling was just awesome. I love the way that looks. Okay, I have some good storage. Of course, I don't hang clothes, I just fold them, which is just as good. I saw people fold it or hanging clothes. I said, no way, I'm not wasting that space. Over here for stuff I normally don't grab. I do have some clothes over there, some electronics, same as down the drawers down there. But it's easy just to jump over and get access to those. Oh, I have this here. So if you don't want to use the dryer, you can hang this, you can hang clothes here. I have one on either side, and it also acts as I can put a curtain here in case you had company over. You can have a little privacy behind the bed if you wanted. I just thought that it would work both ways, as drying clothes and for privacy. So moving back, we got the living room and the bed. So it's an adjustable bed and go with different adjustments. You can lift your feet up, your head, or just your feet. You can go flat, jump right in it. Or it has presets, so you can preset it to any position you want and then have it saved. You can also go for 0G. I was gonna lay on it and then pretend I was floating. See, I'm floating. I have an adjustable TV, so if I'm at the desk, I can watch TV or watch a game while I'm working at the computer, and it just goes right back in. It also is a great sound system. I did save some little knickknacks and saved them on these shelves. I added these shelves later on, and just to have stupid stuff that I had collected over the years, and that was it for those shelves. And then I added the sacred geometry and stuff, the dream catcher, and some artwork from New Mexico. So kind of mix it up a little bit. So here's the office. On this side, I have two different kinds of shades. One is a blackout shade and one is a sunshade. It works great. It's good to have a dual purpose on that. I actually have a lot of ottomans. I use them for storage, and I use them to get up in high places. You can stack them because I have a few more ottomans. I have a chair that I can use inside or out, and it folds up so it's not in the way. A standing desk, so it goes up and down. The reason for the standing desk is I didn't want to sit down all the time. Sitting is not good for you. Okay, when you first get in the house, you know, it's easy to, or when you're leaving, you want your shoes, you want your jackets, and I had a control center here, which was another reason why I had a door that swung out, so I didn't want the door to come in and hit anything. I actually made the wall a little wider so I can put a pocket door in there. And one thing I wanted to do with the pocket door is put a mirror. And that's something I will add later on. I wanted a loft, but only for storage. I know nobody's gonna sleep up there. I definitely didn't want to sleep up in the loft. That's why I have my bed downstairs. And with not, needing it for sleeping, I was able to raise the ceiling in the bathroom up to 7 feet because I'm 6'2". I don't want to be scrunched, or you don't want the shower head to come out in your face. Basically, it's no good. So let's go into the bathroom. It's big, it's roomy. It's probably the biggest bathroom I ever had. Yeah, I'm a big dude, so I wanted a big shower, and this is great. I have the removable shower wand, which you gotta have. You gotta have the massage thing, and you gotta have the different kind of spray intensities. And these wall panels are just incredible. I mean, you don't have to do any kind of like cleaning of a shower. When you had tiles and you had the grout in there, you don't always have to be cleaning that stuff. This, never. Doesn't have to be cleaned. You don't see no hard water stains. I mean, maybe at a certain angle or something, but it's just perfect. It's the most easy to take care of shower I ever had in my life, and I got plenty of room. You can stay out of the water, here. So you don't have to turn stuff off, even though I can turn stuff off here. So I have windows on all sides of the house. I think you have to have windows on all sides of the house. And this is a great window just for the bathroom. And so you can vent stuff. I also have a blackout shade. And I like to put my artwork and photographs just to add something, because you don't want to waste this space. You know what I mean? You gotta have dual purpose. And then we have the hot water temperature, which is 115. So I have an on-demand hot water heater outside. They wanted, in the original design, they wanted to put it inside. So I don't want that thing inside, put it outside. But you have to take care of it and make sure it doesn't freeze up on you. And you do have to flush it out periodically because it scales up if you have hard water. Dual purpose washer and dryer, which is excellent to have. Some open shelves here, nice mirror. Okay, so the tiny house could be off grid. I got a solar system, the EG4 solar system with a 6,000 watt inverter. I also have a 280 amp hour battery or 14.3 kilowatt hour battery, 48 volt system. So it runs everything. You can also plug it into the grid and charge the battery if your battery gets low. But here I'm not using it. I don't get enough sun because of the trees. So it's just a backup system for now. Also bought a little grill so I can make some food outside, because the tiny house, you cook food inside, you're gonna smell it for a little while. So it's good to have some opportunities to cook outside. Okay, here we are at the artwork done by an artist in New Mexico, and she came up with some good ideas. She added some of the birds that were local to New Mexico. There's also mountains, because in New Mexico, we are right in front of the Manzano Mountains. Gave people something to look at, similar to RVs with their artwork and stuff. It's a little something extra. I want to get a dog. And I want to have a girlfriend in here, but you have to see what happens. You know?
Just keep telling people you're Will Ferrell and it'll come along, right?
Yeah. So everybody says I look like Will Ferrell. I don't know. Will Ferrell would like that. And the drummer from Red Hot Chili Peppers. But yeah, it was good. I'm glad I'm doing this video because I learned so much from videos from YouTube and watching other people do their builds. I'm glad to give back, you know, my experience to people who are thinking about building a tiny house. And if anybody wants to comment or make any suggestions to me, I would definitely reply to everybody. I did on another video, I replied to everybody. So anybody who wants information, just let me know and I will definitely help you out. So.
If you like this week's episode, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And check back soon because we have new unique home tours publishing all the time. And if you'd like to join our team and get access to members-only content and unique perks, make sure you click on the join button below.